Happy Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving Explained. G'day guys, how's it going? My name is Aussie Tash. Sorry it's been a few days between videos. I was knocked down with the worst flu. Oh my god, was sick as a dog, feeling 100% better. And your Thanksgiving, it's approaching. It's days away. So today we're going to learn about Canadian Thanksgiving. This video was recommended to me by one of my members on Discord. Shout out to Jimmy. Really looking forward to getting to this video, so let's go.
Believe it or not, Canadian Thanksgiving, known in Canada as, well, Thanksgiving, predates American Thanksgiving. Actually, it predates America by about 200 years. And yes, we've covered this before, but, you know, it's about high time we covered it again.
I feel good already.
Okay, so where did Thanksgiving come from? Short answer, Henry VIII. Surprising, right? Yep, when Henry VIII couldn't get an annulment from the Pope on his first marriage, he separated England from the Catholic Church in the 1530s, bringing about the English Reformation. And one of the issues that they had to deal with was holidays. See, Catholicism up until 1536 had 95 holidays, or holy days for those that haven't put that one together quite yet. And through reforms, this was whittled down to 27, but they created what were known as days of fasting, also known as days of humiliation, and days of Thanksgiving. Days of fasting took place after floods or military defeats, and days of Thanksgiving were for plentiful harvests or military victories. In fact, November 5th was a National Thanksgiving Day from 1606 until the 1800s, celebrating the fact that James I had survived the failed gunpowder plot. And of course, it ended up becoming Guy Fawkes Day, or night, or whatever. Keep in mind, these holy days were meant to primarily be spent at church, either seeking atonement on a day of fasting or praising and thanking God on a day of Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot to take in, wasn't it? There's a lot of stuff going on upstairs here. Wow. So your Thanksgiving is in October. I believe American Thanksgiving, they celebrate Thanksgiving in November. I have got another video, one more video coming up soon explaining the differences between Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving. But yes, oh my gosh, there was a lot to take in there. Let's find out some more.
Anyway, North America's first Thanksgiving outside of similar type celebrations by the Spanish supposedly took place in Frobisher Bay in 1578 and was held to thank God for their safe passage across the ocean. See, the voyage was led by Martin Frobisher, who came to the New World in order to establish a colony. But they met issues along the way with strong storms and ice, separating the ships in the process, and it was in Frobisher Bay that they came back together, and hence the celebration of thanks. In 1604, a group of colonists arrived with the father of New France and lake namer extraordinaire Samuel de Champlain, and they began holding feasts of thanks, though the feasts were celebrated when the time to celebrate was at hand rather than a previously established day each year. Champlain also helped create the Order of Good Cheer, who put on feasts and plays with both French colonists and local indigenous people. So Thanksgiving wasn't a yearly holiday until 1879. Before then, it was held from time to time. Some years it was celebrated more than once, some years none at all. There was Thanksgiving held for the end of the French and Indian War, another for the end of the War of 1812. One was held in 1838 after the end of the Lower Canada Rebellion, and after Upper and Lower Canada united to form a single entity. They only held Thanksgiving 6 times in the 15 years between 1850 and 1865.
Wow, so Thanksgiving was only celebrated after the victory or a successful outcome from a war. All right, 6 times in 15 years. I'm guessing at some point they established a proper day of the year to celebrate Thanksgiving. We'll find out about that.
And the date kept changing after 1879. It started as a Thursday in November, pretty much keeping with the American version, but after the end of the First World War, it was merged with Armistice Day and celebrated on the Monday of the week of November 11th. The two holidays were split apart in 1931, and it wasn't until 1957 that the current day used, the second Monday of October, was established as Thanksgiving Day. And this was done by a proclamation from Governor Governor General of Canada, Vincent Massey. So
Okay.
how is Canadian Thanksgiving celebrated? Well, pretty much the same way as the American version that comes from Pilgrims and all that. By the way, we did a whole video on the Pilgrims if you're interested. And after the American Revolution, quite a few loyalists moved north of the border and brought with them their Thanksgiving cuisine. You know, turkey, dressing, corn, mashed potatoes, ham, squash, pie. Well, squash and pie, not actual squash. Well, technically, pumpkins are a squash, so yeah, screw it, squash pie. Pretty much the
Squash
same
pie.
basic foods eaten in the US, though there are some regional variations like butter tarts or salmon
Yeah.
or Jig's dinner, which is basically what Americans would call roast, or Nanaimo bars. Here in
Nanaimo
the
bars.
US, we celebrate
Oh.
Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday in November,
Okay,
but
there
in
we go.
Canada, it's the second Monday of October, though the feast is typically celebrated on Sunday, but any day of that week or weekend can be used.
Okay.
What we do have in common more than anything else
Oh,
is
you guys have
football.
football
In
too?
America, the Cowboys and Lions always play home games on Thanksgiving.
Oh, so you guys have got your own sort of football thing too. You see all the American classic sitcoms and movies where, you know, they're celebrating Thanksgiving with their families and they're always watching a game of football. I had no idea that it was the same team that play every year. That's good to know. The Canadian Football League. I know it's very similar to NFL, or we call it gridiron here in Australia. I'm going to have to do a video and learn the difference between the two.
And in Canada, the Canadian Football League puts on a doubleheader known as the Thanksgiving Day Classic, which
Okay.
is one of 2 times a year that they play football on a Monday. The other is on Labor Day, by the way. Thanksgiving is also bigger in America. Not to say Canadians don't love Thanksgiving, but in America, it's the second biggest holiday behind Christmas. Don't
Wow.
worry, Halloween's gaining. And it's considered odd by many if you don't celebrate it. So there may be differences, but both versions of Thanksgiving aren't meant to give thanks and bring people together, and what's better to celebrate than that? Plus, there's food, a literal crap
Oh,
ton
yeah.
of food.
Okay, there you have it. Canadian Thanksgiving explained. We don't really have any day of the year in Australia for Thanksgiving. Not really at all. Perhaps Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. Like Christmas Day, it's hot in Australia. You know, we don't have, you know, turkeys and stuff. It's way too hot unless they roast it and they let it cool down and stuff like that. We normally have ham and, you know, roast chicken and stuff like that. Ham is a pearler for Christmas Day. Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, you're still celebrating with the family. You know, you're chilling out, you're relaxing, you're having a beer, and you watch the cricket. But Boxing Day is not really a religious day. So I really don't think that we have anything that compares to Thanksgiving here in Australia. But yeah, guys, what are you planning to do for Thanksgiving Day? It's only a few days away. Are you going to make yams? You call them yams, we call them sweet potato. Are you going to make a pumpkin pie? We don't have pumpkin pie here in Australia. I don't think I've ever eaten a pumpkin pie. Butter tarts. Butter tarts are something that I'm going to have to make. I do have a recipe for butter tarts. You guys all know that I've made Nanaimo bars from a Nanaimo bar kit. If you haven't seen it, guys, go and check out the video. I absolutely love Nanaimo bars. They are really, really beautiful. Okay, guys, that was the video for today. If you liked it, please jump on, smash the like button, leave a comment, and of course, remember to subscribe. That really helps me out. Cheers for Down Under. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.